So I get a ton of questions on YouTube and they all sound somewhat the same. Daren, how do I get started? What do I buy? It's overwhelming. I haven't fished in 20 or 30 or 40 years. What do you recommend? So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do if I was starting fresh with no gear, no tackle, just the desire to get back into fishing or fish for the first time. So let's head back to that fishing aisle. Let's go. All right, guys, when you reach the fishing aisle, you're going to run into three main combo types. This is going to be one. This is going to be the push button, right? And so it's super simple, great for kids, works for panfish and small bass. However, you're going to outgrow this quickly because it lacks control and casting distance. So I would stay away from this unless you're buying them for your kids. And then when you look up here, you're going to have the Baitcasters, these guys. And so tons of power, a lot of precision once you know how to use it. However, if you're brand new, I would stay away from this at first and evolve into it over time. So save this guy for later. So what you're going to be looking for is either this guy right here or this guy right here. So let's pull this down. This is going to be your spinning reel, right? This is the best choice for beginners and returning anglers. It handles a lot of common bass lures and it's really forgiving. So you're going to look for the spinning combo, which means you're going to get the rod and reel with one price. Also, what you're going to be looking for is a medium power fast action. You can see it right there on the rod. It's going to be a medium power. Move it up here. Fast action. This is going to be a 7-foot rod, which is perfect. So that medium power is going to give the rod enough strength for bass, and the fast action means the tip bends quickly so you can feel bites and set the hook real easily. And so these are going to run you anywhere between, you know, what do they say, $93 and $111. So this setup's really going to be perfect for balance between affordability and performance. Now you might see some ultralight setups. They typically will be smaller reel sizes, shorter rods. Those are really great for panfish and small bass, but not really what you want. So you're looking for that 7-foot rod length. All right, now let's talk line, right? And so what you're going to see here is 3 different types of line. This is going to be monofilament, and then you're going to have Fluorocarbon right here, and then you're gonna have Braid. So let me tell you the differences between the 3. So first up, let's talk about the monofilament, right? It's gonna be your cheapest option, right? You see it's $4 here. That's gonna be stretchy and forgiving. It's kind of a neutral buoyancy. It's gonna have a slow sink. It's really great for beginners. Your fluorocarbon, it's going to be nearly invisible underwater, more sensitive. It sinks faster because it's more dense in water, and it's less forgiving than mono. What I mean by that, it's going to be less stretchy. Sometimes you'll find copolymer or poly. It's a blend of mono and fluoro. It's less stretch than mono, cheaper than true fluoro. It's a nice middle ground for beginners. A lot of times what you'll see is, you got to be careful on this, you'll see it says fluorocarbon coated, and that's not true fluorocarbon. That's just a copolymer. And so if you're like, oh, that's a lot cheaper than this fluorocarbon, that's the reason why. And then you have Braid, this stuff right here, right? Super strong, virtually zero stretch, fantastic and heavy cover. It floats, but it's highly visible right in water. So one of the reasons fishing line feels confusing at first is because there are only 4 main types of line, but each one comes in different line weights, also called pound test. See that? It's 20-pound test, 10-pound test, 40-pound test, and it's all over the place, right? So you'll see this printed right on the spool or box, and it simply tells you how much force the line can take before it breaks, and it also affects how the line behaves. So if you're just getting started, I would start out with 8-pound mono or like 8-pound fluorocarbon. So it's a really great all-purpose choice and matches great with beginner-friendly spinning combo I just recommended. Now here's the problem with Walmart, right? You walk in here, you can feel like heaven or hell if you have no clue what you're looking at. There are hundreds, if not thousands of baits, dozens of brands, easily to overspend, but in reality, you only need a couple setups to consistently catch bass. Let me share what those are. The first is going to be the wacky rig. And what the wacky rig is really just a 5-inch stick bait. These are really great. They're a little more expensive. If you're on a budget, head down here to the Creme brand, buy this guy right here. It's $1.25. And then what you're going to do is head over to the hook section down here. Also can be overwhelming. And you're going to look for this guy right here, the Gamakatsu size 1 or size 1/0 octopus hook. And don't buy cheap hooks. Get the nice ones. Trust me, they'll bend out if you don't. So essentially what you do is you take this hook, put it right through the middle of this worm, throw it out there, and what it'll do on the fall, it'll kind of flutter, and it just drives bass absolutely crazy. And so pretty cheap setup to get on bass consistently. So the wacky worm's really great for like the top of the water column because it takes a while for that to flutter down. But if you want to bottom fish, I would head down here and I would buy one of these. It's going to be the Ned rig, and it's going to come with soft plastics and the Ned hooks that you need. This is going to drop that to the bottom fast, and I tell you what, this is an absolute bass killer. And so these are money. So when you're looking at all these colors, it can be overwhelming as well. Essentially, if you're fishing like clear stained water, find green pumpkin. If you're fishing like muddy water, you want to go to a black and blue colored lure. And so that's going to help you for both the wacky worm and this Ned rig. And there's a variety of different options in here. I have caught literally thousands of fish on those two lures alone. So grab those and you will be happy. Also, don't forget to grab your fishing license. They only cost like $25. And trust me, you don't want that smoke on that ticket. That can be up to $500 if you get caught without a fishing license. So next up, if you gut hook a fish, which likely you'll end up accidentally doing, especially as a beginner, you want some type of pliers. So you can use needle nose pliers out of your toolbox, or you can head over here to the fishing aisle and you can grab some. Now all of these are going to rust, and so if you don't want a pair that rust, you're going to have to find an aluminum pair. And right now, I don't see an aluminum pair of pliers, so just keep that in mind. And to cut your line, you can just bring a pair of scissors with you. These will end up breaking, they end up rusting. The same thing with these. And so at the end of the day, just bring a pair of scissors or a pair of shears and you'll be good to go. Now also, if you're a beginner, you're likely going to be catching your personal best off the bat. So I recommend finding some type of digital scale. You can get these at Walmart. I don't like these. That's because it's not like precise. And you want to know if you caught a 5-pound 4-ounce bass that it was 5 pounds and 4 ounces, not 5, and I can't really tell on this dial scale. So find yourself a digital scale. So what you'll know as you walk through Walmart, you'll see crankbaits and frogs and giant swim baits and flashy top waters. You'll see spinner baits and spooks and whopper ploppers and Alabama rigs, and these are all awesome later, but not on day one. For example, if you throw a frog, right, one of these guys on a medium spinning rod, the bass might hit the lure, but you won't have enough backbone in that rod to drive that thick frog hooks past the barb, and you lose the fish and you'll lose confidence, right? So stay simple until you build your skills. So final thoughts. Start with one spinning rod, 8-pound fluoro or mono. Use the wacky rig or the Ned rig and just a few basic tools, and you'll be good to go to get out there on the water if you haven't fished for a long time. Keep it simple, build skills, catch bass, and then come back and level up on everything else this sport has to offer. And I got good news for you. I have over 2,400 videos on the subject. And in fact, if you're new to fishing, I got a whole playlist for you, 3 videos, how to fish with no experience. You can check that out right there. Thanks for watching, guys.